that you've been waiting on me. Yeah, I heard that you've been waiting on me for a long time, long time. Why you ain't just simply tell me you was waiting on me? Are you just trying to one-up me? That's a two-to-a thing. Oh yeah. Why you keep on acting so manipulative? Got me thinking about like where you been lately. Building shit from the ground, I've been innovating. I ain't really tripping, baby. You know you ain't been with no real winner, baby. But if you can't see the vision, baby, I got another hoe that's been waiting on me. I just don't got the patience. I'm sorry that I don't have reasons why. I can tell you why I don't pay you no mind. My other niggas think that you just bad and fine. I'ma tell you that you bad and you ain't fine. Bad and you ain't right. Bad and way your life. Niggas getting hot and dropping all the hype. If I'm down and low, then how I feel the hype. How I feel the hype. How the fuck I feel the hype? It's cause shit, nigga, I'm damn. I've been on the land like Vikings, but instead of boat, bitch, I'm biking. If a nigga said he want their hands, he don't understand. I'm gon' pull the Glock out and tell him to fight this. Said you a dog, then you better bite this. Go fetch me a bullet, on some type shit, still for the shooter. Cause it might be she suited and booted, they say she the tightest. She got me. Tryna go get me some blues, not a fight. She got your neck in the news, alright. Why should I trip out on you? Why should I trip on you? Why should I trip on
Yo. Live Reaction Sundays is the Hype Real Podcast. Make sure y'all pull up, take a seat. We got some things to talk about, man. And, usually it's football Sunday. So I talk a lot of football on the Sundays. I usually talk a lot of fantasy football, but we're going to talk a little real football this time around. I want to talk about the team you see in the back, the team you see overhead, my Cleveland Browns, man. So my Cleveland Browns, my good old Cleveland Browns are now 1-5. Okay. It happens. 1-5, it's I guess it's not the end of the world. I expected us to be bad. We're always rebuilding, and some of the moves that are made by the GMs are questionable. But shouts out again, hand clap to the rookies that were able to do their thing. We're gonna touch on. Whoa, pause. We're gonna speak on one rookie in particular, and I'm not just gonna just go in on him. So shout out Schlesinger, shout out Campbell, who came over from the Jaguars. He made some good plays against DK. They had him running DK. He ain't show up this week until Thursday. So the defense is not the problem. Even when you took out Greg Newsome and added in another guy, the defense is not the problem. And it hasn't been all year. And that's my problem with the team is the defense is not the problem. If we don't have this defense, the games don't even look like they look. But when you have your defense out there for so long, eventually they're going to break. It's just kind of the way that the game is. If you're out there as a unit, the majority of the game, you're eventually going to break. So let's get right into it. As we know, we traded away Flacco. Flacco's playing right now for the Bengals. And, he's not doing anything just yet. It's 0-0. He just went 3 and out. That's fine. I expected nothing less. I was having a conversation about Flacco with some of the guys that I know because everybody around me here is a Cincinnati Bengals fan. And they show mad love to the Browns, but everybody hates Pittsburgh. And hey, I can't be mad at them. But we traded him. We got, what is it, a fifth back? We traded him in a sixth. Okay, whatever. We're getting him off. We're getting him out of here because we know he's not the future. So next up is Dillon Gabriel. And I'm not even gonna get to the whole controversy of, why they didn't hurry up and make Shedeur Sanders the second overall quarterback. It's QB2, as they like to say. They were thinking about making Zappy, which would be absolutely ridiculous. So Dillon Gabriel last week was given kudos by a lot of the figureheads in sports talk analyst world. Rex Ryan's, all these guys, especially Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan, to me, is a babbling buffoon when it comes to being the analyst. He's very entertaining, but what he talks about sometimes is completely unorthodox. Chat's tapping in. Let's see what you say. Sorry. Yeah, they're not. We'll get into that, Strong. Shout out, Strong. I'm going to put you up there. He said they sorry. It's not even that they sorry. I blame two people for this loss. I blame Coach Kevin, as I like to call him, and I blame Dillon Gabriel. I don't blame Judkins because Pittsburgh is a stout defense, but if there's no threat of throwing the ball to really make plays, you can lock in on the one piece that has been productive, and that's been the run game. So Dillon Gabriel, I want to talk about the good. I'm not just gonna hate on this man. I want to talk about the good. Oh, you a Dillon Gabriel hater? No, I'm a realist. Like I said, if you check all my tape, I'm a stand on hill, die on hill type of guy. That you heard it here first. Stand on hill, die on hill. If anybody else take it, tell them to get off of it. And then you know what I mean when I say get off of it. So the good about Dillon Gabriel, he didn't look. I had to write it down because I wanted to make sure I talked about it. I'm watching the game. I'm just writing this stuff down. Okay, I don't want to just be biased because I believe in Shedeur so much. Dillon Gabriel's good, if you want to call it good. He doesn't look flustered. Okay, he looks composed. When bad things happen, he doesn't look all broken up. And sometimes you see these quarterbacks, they look all perplexed on the sideline. They down, they out. They look like they're not into the game. I.e., was it Jay Cutler? Sometimes, what's the quarterback's name? Help me out, y'all. The quarterback's name from Chicago. He's playing. He's playing tomorrow. Caleb Williams. He looks all broke up and out of shape when he's not doing well. And you got some guys who are just stone faced killers. They make a mistake to get out there. So I will give Dillon Gabriel that from the perspective of seeing how he handles adversity from Lee's body language. It's awesome. I'll give him that. Another good thing about him, he's not soft. He took, 5, 6 sacks today? I mean, vicious sacks because Pittsburgh's trying to kill him. It's a rivalry game. It's a conference game. So they're trying to take this man's head off. He got hit a lot and bounced back. Okay, so that's 2. He throws the ball good, when he does make it. He got a tight spiral. When coming out of his hand, it doesn't look bad. I'm not a big fan of his throwing mechanics, but it's not a wobbler. He doesn't throw ducks. I'm not saying he has the strongest arm in the world, but it looks solid. It looks like he's not just letting it out and praying that it works out for him. Okay. One thing I noticed about him, again, this is all the good. He throws a hell of a slant. Now, unfortunately, those are usually first reads. But when he throws it and he completes it at a good clip and it looks good, I give him that. Kudos. He does very well. That's another one. And, I guess this is a good thing. He's safe. But it's also looked at as conservative because he's safe. He doesn't throw interceptions. He tries to take care of the ball. If he's unable to get the ball to the receiver, it's not really put in a place where he's going to get picked off a lot. So you got to give him that. And those are the good things. Now, we lost today. What was the final score? Final score of the game was 23-9. It was close the whole way through. First quarter 0-3. Second quarter 3-6. We're still in it. Third quarter, we put up another 3. They got 7. Fourth quarter, we put up another 3. They put up 7. So 23-9. It's not like it was a complete blowout. We just lost it at the end. Again, I say because the defense was out there so long. You can't help but eventually get worn out. So before I give you stats and everything, I'm a stats guy. I love to talk about these things. Let's talk about the bad, in my opinion, about Dillon Gabriel. The bad about Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel's supposed to be a supercomputer, right? I saw Dillon Gabriel make no calls at the line. No, hey, Mike, watch the DB. Hey, double. Nothing. I did not see him make one call. Most I seen was this. Motion. But I'm pretty sure that was part of the play call. Another thing again, this is the supercomputer that is Coach Kevin. I can't even call him Coach Stefanski. Coach Kevin says the supercomputer is the reason his offense will be able to run more efficient because he's a supercomputer. Fine. He called no audibles. So you don't have any leeway as the supercomputer. You know what a supercomputer is? Supercomputer is AI. It's about AI might take over the world one day. If AI is going to take over the world and that's a supercomputer, this mother lover Dillon Gabriel must be like, his processor must be a hamster running on a little wheel because there's no way in hell that you're not going to call audibles when you see 7-man fronts and you still hand it off. You got to get out of that. That's on you. After a certain amount of time, the mic cuts off in the headset and you got to look at it and say, as the supercomputer, this run play ain't going to work. Let me opt out into an RPO. Let me send one of my speedsters deep because they're expecting me to run and they're set up for it. All right. That goes into my next thing about Dylan Gabriel. This is all bad. Dylan Gabriel doesn't throw the ball deep. My main man brought me a stat. They said as far as completions over 10 yards in the league, he's like last for qualifying candidates. And it's not even like the sample size of him throwing is like, oh, well, he's only throwing the ball 15, 20 times. He threw the ball 52 times today. He threw the ball 52 times today. Okay. Now, I was listening to the broadcasters and say, oh, Dylan Gabriel's really been lighting it up across the middle. And people say, oh, because of his size, that he has a hard time seeing over the middle. And usually that's true. But the thing is Pittsburgh played him to allow people to run to the middle, and he made those completions. That's because the line was opening up in the middle. Now, in my head, you got two options when the line opens up and you can see the whole field in front of you. They're taking away your sides. They're taking away that flat. They're taking away that deep route. They're taking away all the sidelines. So you can throw it over the middle, but you ain't going to go nowhere because we're playing you for it. Take off. Middle of the field's wide open. Go pick up 4 yards. Go pick up 4 yards for your team, Mr. Supercomputer. And then another thing is, speaking of him being not being able to see the field, he gets his passes knocked down so frequently, it's ridiculous. I'm counting 2 or 3 a game. So not only are you not making completions, but you're not even giving your receivers a chance because your ball's getting knocked down. The ball's getting knocked down every time you throw it. That means your delivery is whack. They see it coming, they know what's going to happen, and they knock it down. That you should not be getting the ball knocked down multiple times. Now people say, "Oh, and before I get into my last little thing, he doesn't throw wide receivers open." How many wide receivers today did you see get killed? Thank you, Strong. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. He puts receivers in the situation exactly. And Njoku got killed. That young man, I don't even know his name, number 84, he got destroyed because he doesn't throw receivers to a place. And they're allowing you to throw over the middle field because they got 6 guys sitting there waiting to kill somebody. You don't even throw them open. You don't throw it open. You just throw it to them. This isn't college. Everybody's good in an NFL, even if they're not the best of the best. So you have to realize that you're going to have to throw in the smaller windows and you got to throw them open, and the opportunities were there. Now, I'm no NFL quarterback, but damn it, if I can see it, everybody else can see it. And that means they know that you're going to throw it short and all we got to do is hit these guys. And they say, oh, you can say, well, Jared Drudy, he dropped the ball. Oh, such and such, he dropped the ball. I was having a conversation while watching the game. I'm like, listen, if I'm a wide receiver and I know this man's throwing me into my death by tackle, I'm not going across the middle. I'm going to gator arm the ball too, because if you gator arm the ball, the defender pulls off because you can't hit a defenseless receiver. So am I going to catch this ball and get destroyed and take years off of my career because this dude wants to throw it behind you? He wants to throw it high, or he wants to throw it straight at you. When Njoku got destroyed, he threw it right at him. Njoku had room to catch the ball and keep running. But because of the inaccuracy of this man, we're getting 7 yards, we're getting 5 yards. He throws everything under. It's 3rd and 10. Why are you throwing the ball below the sticks when he's getting covered by 2 guys? And they know your game plan. And I blame also Coach Kevin for even putting him in a situation to say, hey, look for the guy here. Why aren't you coaching this kid up if he's supposed to be the supercomputer? He should be able to process things on the fly. He played the most games in college. They showed the stat. Over all these guys who are doing way better than him, he played more games than even Bo Nix. And they talked about how he was a 10-year senior. He played more games than Jaden Daniels. He played more games than everybody who was in the draft class before him. Shoot, he played more games than everybody that was in the draft class with him at the quarterback position. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. Coach Kevin wants to keep putting him out there because he says he gives him the best chance to win because he runs his offense the best. Maybe your offense is trash. Maybe that's why we're not moving the ball. Judkins can only do so much because if we know that the throwing of the ball, the passer of the ball is not a threat, I'm just gonna shut down your run game. Now what you gonna do? Throw it 4 yards, throw it to the flat, throw it 3 yards on a crossing route. They're planning on that. They're allowing you to do that. They're playing soft coverage to give you all the underneath stuff because they know Dylan Gabriel doesn't throw it deep. How many deep passes did you see from Dylan Gabriel today? I'll wait. I'm gonna get into the chat while I wait. Shout out my man Strong. Coach Kevin doesn't allow his quarterbacks to check out of his plays. He said that on national TV. That's absolutely idiotic. That's why I say I blame Coach Kevin. You got to get him up out of here. And I don't cry for anybody's job, but maybe you need to hand over the play calling duties because what you doing ain't working. There should be no way in hell that your quarterback shouldn't be able to see an 8-man front and you still hand it off. No way in hell. You're never going to win. We're never going to win as a team. We're never going to be able to get anything accomplished. All that is ridiculous. There's no way that we should not be able to have the opportunity to check out of that. It just don't make sense. It don't make no sense. I don't understand it. And if he gets up there and says, well, he even says we got to get the run game going. You'll never get the run game going when all you're doing is throwing 5-yard slants. Now I know we don't have the best receivers in the history of the world, but our receivers are good enough to at least stretch the field to make them respect that we might throw it deep. They don't respect us enough to say, okay, they're going to throw it deep. They know the ball ain't going on more than 4 yards down the field. Let's look at some stats. Let's look at some stats for Dylan Gabriel, the super computer. And I'm trying not to cuss here because I'm really irritated. Because, again, this is me not even trying to be a Shador fan. This is me just being an analyst of football on the outside looking in. Shout out to this Hype Real Podcast. Make sure y'all tune in and tap in. Every Thursday we go live on the podcast where we talk about a whole bunch of different things. We're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, on Instagram, and we're on TikTok. It's the Hype Real Podcast. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and enjoy all of the above. All right. Now back to business. So let's look at some stats. I got the stats because I'm all about the stats. Numbers don't, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Ain't that how it go? Ain't that how it go? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't don't lie. So I got the numbers. Dylan Gabriel, 29 passes completed, 52 attempted, 55% completion percentage, 221 yards, 0 touchdown, QBR 68. That's horrible. That is disrespectful to the game of football to throw the ball 52 times and only have 221 yards, no touchdowns. You completed 29 passes. I didn't see a pass go past the sticks. Not once did I see it go past the first down markers. If you did, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see these receivers. Njoku, 3 for 28. Harold Fannin had 7 for 81, but that was in garbage time. It meant nothing. And he needs to get more play. I don't understand why he wasn't out there for a lot of the game. And if he was, he wasn't getting no looks. So people say, oh, well, Quinshon didn't have a good game. The score, let's look at the score. First quarter, 0-3. Second quarter, 3-6. Why aren't we running the ball? My brother pulled up a great point. He says, why the first play of the game are we in a wide set with no running back? With a quarterback that's a rookie and needs to be protected like he's just that guy. I don't get it. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's just go ahead and put this rookie out there in the wide open set. But Coach Kevin says he wants to play off the play action and get the run going. You're contradicting yourself, my friend. You are contradicting yourself. The Steelers are going to play you to death. They're going to play you to try to kill you, okay? So 52 pass attempts. This man threw the ball over 50 times and only had 220 yards and no touchdowns. So everything was a check down. Come on, dude. Come on, bruh. Like, there's no way. There's no way that should ever be your stats if you're throwing the ball 50-something times. You're killing me. You're dumping it off and going nowhere. The average catch yards, he was 9. And Joker was he had a longer 14. He only had 3 catches. Okay, Harold Fannin, maybe he is the go-to receiver. He had 11 yards. Everybody else is under 10 yards. I don't count this guy because he only had 2 catches, and that might be run after the catch. But the initial pass is still under 10 yards. It's in the flat. It's a slant going 4 yards. Man, our offense sucks flat out. It's too conservative. Everybody I talk to agrees it's too conservative. You know why? Because Dillon Gabriel will be a career backup. Anywhere else he will go, he's a great career backup. He won't lose you games, but he sure as hell won't win you games. And at the end of the game, I almost lost my mind because I thought it's okay. It's 6-23, and I thought they were about to push Shedeur out there. If he would have put Shedeur out there in that situation, I think I would have drove to Cleveland because I'm not there now, but I'm a diehard fan. Shout out Cleveland, BIFC. If you know, you know. I would have drove to Cleveland, found my way into the Browns locker room, and slapped the shit out of Coach Kevin. Like, what is wrong with you to disrespect this man? You just literally trying to belittle this person. So I made a statement a little while ago, and I hope I'm right. About a week or two ago, I said maybe the Browns are trying to protect Shedeur. They're not trying to put him out there in a situation, and they're not trying to put him out there because they know that if you put him out there and he fails, the scrutiny that you're going to have is going to be something that could get him fired. But on the contrary, I also feel if you put him out there and he balls out, it'll save your job, but it also can get you fired. Because you waited until week 6 or 7 to give this guy an opportunity when we could have easily have been, what, 3-3? Yeah, 3-3 doesn't sound good, but it's competitive. Our offense hasn't scored over 20 points. 20 points in the NFL not scoring is ridiculous. The Cincinnati Bengals scored 20-something points, and they got Jake Browning back there. If they scored 20-something points today with Joe Flacco, I swear to God, I'm going to call for his head. I never call for nobody's job because I wouldn't want nobody calling for mine. But I'm just saying, something got to give. Something got to give. And I'm not speaking from a passionate place of a fandom. These are the stats. So, okay, so so my main man Strong tapped in. 0 deep, not a 1. I saw no deep balls up the sideline, down the middle. So you're telling me no receiver is getting separation. They're not even playing zone. They're playing man. Jared Jeudy is an Alabama, blue blood. You telling me he can't get loose? He can't get loose. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not the Pittsburgh Steelers that they once were. The game was 0-3. It was 3-6. No, it was 3-9 heading into halftime. We were in this game. We could have easily have won this game, but because nobody believes you're going to throw it down the field, all they're playing is the sticks. I would never, ever believe somebody running a deep route because you're not going to throw it there. So if the thing is, like Strong has put in the chat, that Coach Kevin doesn't allow people to audible out of his plays, okay, dumb, but I get it. Whatever. But what about this supercomputer in Dillon Gabriel? Why is he not calling out the blitz? Why is he saying, at least switch somebody out to a flat? You ain't got to switch the play. We got Conklin. Conklin went into the tent. He's hurt. Ain't no telling when he's gonna come back. Guys are dropping like flies. I just don't want our rookies who are balling to get discouraged because everybody says it, and unfortunately, right now you have to believe in it that the Browns is the Browns. And I hate that statement, but it's so unfortunately true. Right now, we look like complete fools for doing 2 things. One, signing Sean Watson, some people call him Touch, to that massive guaranteed deal. We look stupid. And for 2, letting Baker walk up out of here. He turned Tampa Bay into a competitive franchise. He balling right now. That's what he do. He has the competitive spirit, and I do believe it took time to grow, and it took time for him to get better. But at the end of the day, he has the skill set. He's a competitive gunner. I can deal with that. Give me a chance to win. Give me a chance to absolute. Okay, shout out to the chat. What up, Amanda? What up, Strong? She said, "What up, Strong?" Hey, Amanda, you've been balling all year. First year of fantasy and you balling. I'm gonna pull that up just because you talk about. I know I said I'm gonna talk just regular football, but I appreciate you for chiming in and tapping in. And holla at me on Thursday. And next week we're gonna definitely do fantasy football stuff. But I can even tap in now. Let's check the scores. But yeah, I do not believe in Dylan Gabriel. I never have believed in Dylan Gabriel, and I will never believe in Dylan Gabriel. It's just ridiculous because why would you put him out there? He's not an NFL quarterback. Nobody was talking about drafting Dylan Gabriel when it happened when the draft was coming around. That was not an option. You show me somebody who was talking about Dylan Gabriel and his options and him being a starter or a franchise quarterback in this league, I'll give you a dollar. I'll cash app it to you. I'll cash app it to you because Dylan Gabriel wasn't everywhere he's been from when he was in Florida to when he went to Oklahoma and even when he went to Oregon. He lost his job. And yeah, in Oregon, they say, oh, well, he was in the Heisman running. Anybody who is playing for Oregon gets Heisman. Bo Nix got Heisman nods. Justin Herbert, Heisman nods. And just because Oregon's talent is elite, it's elite. They're elite right now. The talent in Oregon is elite. They are a top tier program. They are now a Power 5 school because they've gotten bigger in the trenches on the O line and the D line. Before they were all finesse, but now they turned it straight to power. And that's allowing them to compete with these Alabamas and everything like that. What up? What up, Amanda? I appreciate you. I'm chilling, man. Let me get a trade. You got everybody. Let's check in on fantasy real quick before I go off on the time. I just want to check in on my main league since my main league tapping in. I want to check out what's going on so I can bring down my blood pressure. Because boy, oh boy, just watching that game, listen. Put me out there. I'm just gonna throw it deep. What did Joe Burrow say? One of the best quarterbacks considered in the NFL. Chase is down there somewhere. Throw it. Give him an opportunity to catch the ball. You're not even giving your weapons a chance to catch the ball. And when you do, you're putting them in harm's way. You're putting them in situations where you're going to get guys hurt. You're going to get guys put on injured reserve. You're going to get the team not at the end of the game. You know why Dylan Gabriel kept getting sacked? Because the line gave up on his ass. I gave up. If I'm a lineman and I see all you doing is check down, check down, check down, check down, check down, and the check down just don't have to be to the running back, I know we're not going to compete. Why the hell would I ever want to block for you? Like you're not giving us any chance. You're getting us killed. You're getting our receivers killed. There's some talent on the Browns. Isaiah Bond is known for being a speedster, so you can miss me with the bullshit. Excuse my language. I try to keep it clean, but this man's killing me, man. All right, so let's get into some of these games. Right now, I'm down 57-64. I don't think I'm projected to win this, but like I say, keep fighting a good fight. I had a couple duds going into the game. Bo Nix gave me a dud. Quinshawn Judkins gave me a dud, but he's been balling. Emeka Egbuka's just starting to play. Wicks is just starting to play. Theo Johnson, even though New York won, he dudded out on me. But before he gave me 20 points, and I started to switch him out. But it is what it is. My main man. After that, it was just a crapshoot for me. Purcell's out. I can't put in Corum. I don't really have anybody on my bench that's going to do anything. Strong say, what up, Amanda? So I still got Amara. I still got Emeka. I still got Octavian Wicks, who I kind of don't believe in. I still got Keon Coleman. My teammate got some killers too. He still got Drake London and Sam Laporta, and he's got Kendrick Bourne and Baker playing right now, which is kind of trash for me, and Tucker Kraft, which is kind of trash for me because he's attached to Emeka Egbuka. So as Emeka Egbuka goes, so does Baker. All right. Red Dogs versus HNIC, 90-106. So this is going to be a good one. This is probably about 51-49 as far as projections. They still got guys playing and still guys to play. So we'll see what happens with that one. Red Dogs are 1-4. HNIC needs a win at 3-2. My main man, Dragonfly Jones, aka Strong, he is 4-1 going against my main man AB. Wahoo Snipers, that's going to be a good one because Wahoo Snipers is a sneaky good team because they have guys who can blow up. Keep fighting a good fight. All right, my man Emo Mighty, aka Big E, my man Kales, aka Wet Bandits. Right now, he's destroying them. This one might be over. He still got Isaiah Pacheco and David Montgomery to play. David Montgomery is a joker. He's a wild card. He could easily go for 30 or he could go for 13. We'll just see what happens. But you still got guys playing, so it's all good. Hulk Smash, my main man Ryan versus Kick Ass, my main man Brandon. I love you. I got nothing but love for you, and I love you, Ryan. But you need to be getting on your GM game because what you got putting out there ain't gonna cut it. Justin Fields, Tony Pollard, Hassan Haskins, T. Higgins, Jared Judy, Debo Samuels, Jake Ferguson, Stephen Diggs, Kareem Hunt, the Eagles defense, Jake Elliott. You really need to do some deep diving on your team. Yeah, you're down and you're out, but it ain't over. It ain't over. Let's see. He said the audibles are built into the check down in the play. Bullshit. That's not an audible. That's your last resort. Listen, Strong, there's no way you can tell me that a check down is the audible. That's not an audible. An audible is switching the play completely to a different formation according to what the defense is presenting to you. Now, you might be right, but you might be wrong, but at least give your team the opportunity. Back to fantasy. Amanda, you're 4-1 going against Jermaine's great team. Jermaine started off slow this year. He locked in, and he's going to give you a fight because you got some killers out there. You lost a couple guys, but you still got a nice team put together. Your bad point is Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua went down early. And with him being down, that really changed up the game. They won. But Puka Nacua, I believe, was the number one wide receiver in fantasy football. You still got Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's a close number 2, I'm guessing. And you got some guys left to play. The team's still solid, but keep fighting through those injuries. Lamar Jackson really hurt you not being out there for a while. Jermaine's got a solid team, but he just needs to make sure he's putting in who needs to be put in. So just keep on stacking, keep on building, make sure y'all watching, and y'all need to keep your eyes on who's up and coming. That's just my little tidbit. Somebody told me I give away too information, but I do this for the people. I'm here for the people. You know what I mean? Y'all got any questions, make sure y'all tap in to any one of my social medias. It's the Hype Real Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You DM me, I'll DM you back with a good response. I ain't stingy with information. Let's all get it. It's enough for all of us to be great. So let's get back into the chat. My main man Strong said, Kevin can't deal with the star quarterbacks. He only works with mediocre quarterbacks. Star QBs are unpredictable. They're looking for a big play. That's not Kevin's style. Absolutely. I agree. You put somebody in like Shador in, he's been making big plays with bums his whole life. Not knocking anybody's talent because I'm not better than them, but for the standard of who they are, where they play, and what they do, he's been making plays with bums his whole football career. From Jackson State to Colorado. Everybody says, oh, well, he had Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's not a Heisman winner without Shador. You put Shador on Oregon. You put Shador on Alabama. You put Shador at Ohio State. You put Shador at LSU. You put Shador at Auburn. He's the Heisman. He's the Heisman candidate. It ain't like he won the best quarterback award, I believe. And people say, oh, that's because he had like 80% completion percentage. And they said, oh, that's because he threw a lot of screens and a lot of this, but he also had some of the more big plays in college. He gave his receivers a chance to make a play. He gave Travis Hunter a chance to make a play, and he had no run game. He didn't have a run game anytime that I ever seen a man play football. And I watched him in Jackson State, and I watched him in Colorado. And again, I'm not knocking anybody who's better than me at something, but I'm just keeping it real. When you got somebody who can make plays with nobodies, that lets you know that that's somebody you might want to put in so that way they can have the opportunity to help you be great. Sometimes there is no play, so you got to make a play. Coach Kevin is very conservative. I've heard that many times over from many people, and I used to be a Coach Kevin fan. I'm done with it. I'm done. He needs to hand over. Don't hand over the play calling when we're 1-10. You need to hand it over now and see if we can get a new spark because what you're preaching, they ain't receiving. it's not working. If it's not working, it's not working. If I say I want to get money and what I'm doing isn't getting me money, I need a new plan of attack. Let's keep it real. Let's just if what you're doing ain't working, you need to switch it up. Why aren't they, you want why is there not 12-man personnel? You got Hannon and you got Njoku. Run some 12-man personnel, two wideouts if you really want to protect this kid. There's no way. Ooh, great catch. Matthew Golden. There you go, strong. That young man's gonna be a problem. I got the games up right now. Green Bay's winning 3-0. San Francisco is losing 7-3. I think I ain't got the score, but I think the Las Vegas Raiders might be winning 7-0. Don't quote me. They don't got the score up. Cam Ward looks regular too. Shador is better than Cam Ward. If he's not as good or better, he's right there with Jackson Dart. I believe he can be better than him. When he made the comment of there's quarterbacks that started right now that I'm better than, that's not being cocky. That's being confident. But because of who he is, who represents him, and when the media spins on it, he's looked at as the bad guy. Oh, he's not a team guy. But when Dylan Gabriel makes comments, everybody looks the other way. What comment did Dylan Gabriel make? Dylan Gabriel said, "Oh, some people are. I'm here to play football, while other people are here to play to entertain." Amanda tapped in. She said, "You're welcome, Strong." But anyway, you're welcome. You're welcome, Strong, for everything Amanda saying. You're welcome for. You should be grateful. So I just need Coach Kevin to get off of his own high horse and start playing with the personnel he has instead of trying to run his goofy ass system. Again, before I get out of here, here's the Hype Real Podcast. Here's the Hype Real Podcast. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and enjoy. Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all the above. Oh, I remember that trade. She said, "You're welcome for Golden." Yeah, when you made that trade and he told me what happened, I said, damn, he might have got him one because, it's a rookie. Amanda, I appreciate you for tapping in and watching. I'm going to give you one piece of advice as a new fantasy football player, and you're doing great. But, there's always room for improvement in everybody, including myself. But if I can give you one piece of advice, and I'm all, like I say, if you ever want to hit me up, you can get my number, contact me. If you want to make a trade, let me know. But I want to put you on to this. Rookies take time to develop. When they're switching from college to the NFL, you got to give them 6 to 7 weeks, especially if they were elite in college, to really see what they're going to do. They got to integrate themselves into the offense. They also have to, quote unquote, pay their dues. So when rookies come in, a lot of these old school coaches who aren't super innovative, I got to put my vets in. You got to earn your stripes. You got to earn your playing time. So that's why he wasn't getting much time in the beginning. You had a golden egg, and no, pun intended. And sometimes you just got to be patient. You have the team, especially if you have a team like yours. And I'll show you yours again because you have a solid team. You have a very solid team. To be real with you. Don't look at this stuff. Whoever's watching, because she just got people in because they're hurt. But when you have a solid core nucleus, you traded him for Thornton Jr. Thornton Jr. He had a good week. He's a splashy player. He was getting you points, but Golden was a first round pick, an elite talent. Next year, if you happen to run across something like that and you had that, sit him on the edge of your bench. See what he does. Allow him to get into the system, because those are the guys at the end of the season who are going to help you win or lose your championship. So if we go to my team, and it's not saying I'm right or wrong, Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka was a guy that came in first round talent, and he had a great opportunity. So I just sat on him for a while. Right now, I believe he's the number 3 fantasy wide receiver in football. Golden has the opportunity to be a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy football because of the team that he's on that likes to throw. As you can see, I have Dontavian Wicks. He is not a great NFL wide receiver, but because of the team that he's on that likes to throw the rock a lot because they have a great running game, he's going to have opportunities and he can have a blow up week. Plus, I'm fighting a good fight with a lot of my guys out. As everybody knows in my league, I lost Malik Neighbors, Marion Hampton's out, but that's neither here nor there because I'm gonna keep fighting a good fight. So it is what it is. You said that's what Coach Kevin said. I know that's what he said. But like I said, he might need to give up those play calls because if your audibles that are built in aren't working, sometimes you need to just cut your losses. Cut your losses, keep it moving. Because if it don't work, it don't work. You need to switch it up. Again, it's the Hype Real Podcast. We go live every Thursday, 10 p.m. We have guests. We have good topics. My main man, 6:23 a.m. My main man, Ray, pulls up. Shout out Bands the Bully. Shout out Keon 8. Shout out Kyle from the Warner Brothers podcast. He's been pulling up lately and showing mad love. Thanks for the advice. Absolutely. I love competitiveness. So if you're good, it makes the league better. So that's what Strong's all about, making the league better. When we first started this league, nobody traded, nobody talked. Strong pushed the agenda to connect people to make them talk, to make them know who is, to make not to make trades happen, but at least have the opportunity. Because being in a stagnant league is boring. There's no point in being in a league with people you know and can be in contact with if you're not going to be able to make it almost like the real NFL as a business. So shout out Strong for that one. That's what I call. That's why he calls himself Jerry Jones, and I can agree with that. He wants to be a businessman. He makes great deals because he's all about, innovating the business. So I'm gonna close it out with this. Make sure y'all stay strong in y'all fantasy football. Make sure y'all stay locked in. Look for those sneaky picks, and we need to get Dylan Gabriel the hell out of here and give Shedeur Sanders a chance. But if y'all gonna play like that, he's not. Shedeur Sanders is not going to get another chance for at least another 3 to 4 games. The offense looks just as stagnant as it did with Joe Flacco, if not worse. So if he's supposed to be able to run the system better, maybe you need to switch up the system because your system ain't working, Coach Kevin. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. It's the Hype Real Podcast, live reaction Sundays. I'm here every Sunday, every Thursday. We live 10 p.m. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and enjoy on all platforms. I appreciate y'all. Let's get some music. My main man, Left. That's who I'm rocking with right now. Left Jinsey is the guy. A lot of y'all don't know who that is, but I'm going to keep playing it until I can't play it no more because this dude is nice. He is one of the coldest that I know at a young age. He's an artist that I've come across that I am very impressed by. Let's see. What's the main man Strong tapped in? Yeah, man. Shout out, man. I peeped the vision and I appreciate it. We got a keeper league going on and hopefully we can have people tapped in. We lost the owner because of some miscellaneous things that were going on with him. But if you're out there and you want to get down on a keeper league where you're able to trade picks, you're able to trade players, and you're able to get full collateral, we'll talk about that more next week because we talked about that the week before. But I just want to get on here and not even get on my soapbox, but get on here and talk about what needs to be changed and what I see, the good and the bad in Dylan Gabriel, because he's supposed to be the supercomputer. If you were given the title a supercomputer, you need to be able to live up to it. I haven't played Golden yet. That's because you're sitting on him. You're allowing him to get into the offense. So by the end of the year, that man's going to be a problem. You ain't tricking nobody. I see your game. So let's get into my main man, Left Jinsey, here in a second. Any other questions from the chat? I'm open. Amanda, you got anything for me? Chat, you got anything for me? Strong, you got anything for me? Because I'm about to get out of here, watch some more of this football, and pray my team wins. Because it's kind of ugly right now, but it's okay. I'm up, so I can take an L if I have to. I don't want to, but if I have to, I will. Let's get this set up for my main man, Left Jinsey, so I can get up out of here. So we're going to ride out to Left Jinsey. Chat, keep tapping in because I'll be here watching, and then I can tap in with y'all. Let's get this shit popping. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Turn my beat up. My tunes at? No tunes? Oh, man.
Long time for a long time.
Here we go. All right. We are live. That's the beauty about live. You got to figure it out as you go sometimes.
I get so manipulative, got me thinking about like where you been.
Take it from the top.
Bullshit from the ground I've been.
Shout out Left Gency Boundless. Check him out on Spotify. LEFTGENCY. Left Gency. It's the new album that came out, Boundless. Make sure y'all check it out. I think it's fire. I'm out on that note. Make sure y'all tap into the chat, subscribe, enjoy. Peace.
Yeah, I heard that you been waiting on me for a long time, Why you ain't just sit me, tell me you was waiting on me? Are you just trying to one up me? That's a 2 to a 3. Oh yeah. Why you keep on acting so manipulative? Got me thinking about like where you been lately. Bullshit from the ground I've been innovating. I ain't really tripping, baby. You know you ain't been with no real winner, baby. But if you can't see the vision, baby, I got another hoe that's been waiting on me. I just don't got the patience. I'm sorry that I don't have reasons why. I can tell you why I don't pay you no mind. My other niggas think that you just bad and fine. I'ma tell you that you bad and you ain't fine. Bad and you ain't right. Bad and way your life. Niggas getting hot and dropping all the hype. If I'm down the low, then how I feel the hype. How I feel the hype. How the fuck I feel the hype? It's cause I've been on the land like Vikings, but instead of boat, bitch, I'm biking. If a nigga said he want their hands, he don't understand. I'm gon' pull the Glock out and tell him to fight this. Said you a dog, then you better bite this. Go fetch me a bullet, on some type shit, still for the shooter. Cause it might be she suited and booted, they say she the tightest. She got me. Tryna go get me some blues, not a fight. She got your neck in the news, alright. Why should I trip out on you? Why should I trip on you?